Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly and today we're going to be looking at the 38 kilowatt hour battery Hyundai IONIQ. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and we'd love if you could subscribe. So let's get started. As of August 2020, the price of this Hyundai IONIQ is just under €35,000 after government grants. So there are three different versions of the IONIQ. There are the full battery version, which this one is, and you can tell that by the full blocked off grille. There is a mild hybrid and a hybrid version as well. You can see that it's got the aero wheels, 16-inch, and it also has a sedan saloon silhouette body style. And this one has actually the same drag coefficient as a Tesla Model 3, so very efficient on the road. You'll also see that this is a hatchback. So with the hatchback version, you don't have as much space as a Nissan LEAF, but you will have enough space, more space than the actual Kona version of the Hyundai Kona. Apologies. So you can see we have a lot of stuff in the boot or the trunk here at the moment, and it's well able to handle it. We've got a electric kick scooter. We've got all the filming gear. So yeah, good size, and there is a bit of a false floor underneath for holding your storage cables as well. So visibility when you're looking out through the back window, the spoiler area is making it kind of like two post boxes, but I'll show you what that looks like from the inside. You may or may not have seen that, but when you open the door and sit down and close the door, the seat comes back to the original position that you left it last in, but you also get two presets and they're controlled over here on the door handle. And then vice versa, when you get out of the car, when you open the door, it moves back and lets you out. Some people find it difficult getting into a car of this type, the saloon shape, but it's a really nice feature in the Hyundai. I know you get in a lot of higher end models of cars, but I really like it here. Nice space in the front of the IONIQ. It is slightly higher positioned because of the battery pack underneath, but I like it. I think the visibility is good. I even like the fact that you can see out a good bit of the back window, even though there is that cross beam for the spoiler. Let's take a look in the back and see what the space is like. Here we are in the back of the IONIQ. Good space, seat set for my height at the front, so it is a bit tight, but as mentioned, it is the memory preset, so when I'm sitting in it, or I would be sitting in it, it would be further forward. Pocket spaces, two vents, you've got your dome light, you've got your coat hook, your grab handle, you've got electric windows in the back, and you've got your door bins, small side pocket and an actual pocket for a water bottle or a drinks container. In the middle, you've got your armrest with your double cup holders, and you also have your headrest for your third person. Wouldn't technically fit 5 adults because it is a small bit tight in the back, but you know, it isn't a huge car. Two ISOFIX fittings on either of the back passenger seats, and on this model you've got your car mats with your nice blue stitching. In the front passenger and driver footwells you've got the IONIQ logo in that nice electric blue as well. Sloping headroom isn't too bad, even though it is that body shape. No problem at all. Good space in the back. Very happy with it. Capacity in the boot is around 450 litres with the seats up, and with seats down you get about 1400 litres. You also get a security or privacy screen that comes over the top of the boot. Out in the road with the Hyundai IONIQ. You never say it, I keep on thinking iconic. The Hyundai IONIQ. And as we start off on our little journey around the streets and highways and byways around my neighbourhood and on a bit of the motorway, if you like this video, if you can, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe as well. I really would appreciate it. It lets me know that I'm doing something that you're interested in, and lets YouTube know that you're interested in this channel as well. So the subscription makes a huge difference. So if you can, and if you could share it, comment, like, subscribe, share, That's what they say, isn't it? Battery, as mentioned in the intro. First version of it had a 28 kilowatt hour battery, so that's a huge jump in battery size, but there is the issue of the charge gate issue. So whenever there's anything controversial at all in any walk of life, to put the word gate after it, and this has what's called the Hyundai IONIQ charge gate issue. What is that, you might be asking? Well, what that is in the first variation, you were able to charge up to 70 kilowatts per hour. And this version, the second version, even though it's got a bigger battery, roughly 37% bigger, this version will only allow you to charge up to 50 kilowatts. What does that mean to me? If you are doing long journeys and you are rapid charging on a frequent basis, it will take longer to charge this car. Is that going to bother you with the range of around 300 kilometers? Are you buying this car for longer journeys? Is this the perfect commuter car? I really like this car, and I had it a couple of months ago to write a written review, and then I was lucky enough to be able to launch the YouTube channel, and I said, can I have it back? And I wanted it on the YouTube channel. Some people don't like this car, and not every car is for every person, but I like the shape, I like the looks, I like the range, I like the driving position, I like the interior. The boot is a bit small, the range could be bigger, but for the kind of money that you're paying for this car, it's not bad. And I've had a couple of friends in it as well, picking them up and going for a drive in it, just to get, and that's the best way to get somebody interested in an electric vehicle, is let them in, let them feel the acceleration, let them feel the smoothness of the drive, let them hear, or not hear, the engine or the lack of an engine, the electric motor, and it's piquing their interest, it's planting that seed. My point is, anyone that I've showed this car to likes it. Is it a driver's car? What is a driver's car? Is it the engine? Is it the poke? All the rest of it? There are 3 modes on this. There are drive modes. So we've got Sport, Normal, Eco, and Eco Plus. There are 4 modes on this car. Sport obviously is a bit peppier. It does exactly what it says in the tin, but I always drive it in drive mode, in normal mode, which is sprightly enough at the traffic lights for me, goes along at a decent pace. What I love about this car, and what I've seen happen over the last couple of years with regards to endurance and fuel efficiency, this is hard beaten. Whatever it is about it, whatever they've done on the Hyundai, whatever magic they put into the battery pack, whatever way they've designed the aerodynamics, and as mentioned already, it has the same drag coefficient as the Tesla Model 3. What is a drag coefficient? So when they put it into a wind tunnel, what are the elements that are causing drag? With the shape, is it easy for air to get over, around, and under the car? And so that you're not pushing air, you're actually slicing through it. So when you can say that you've got the same drag coefficient, or very, very close to, as a Tesla Model 3, that's not bad. That's a good benchmark to put yourself up against. Is the battery small? It's small if you're looking for a large battery. It is the perfect size battery if you know what your commutes are, if you know that in a day or every couple of other days that the near 300 kilometer range is perfect for you. Absolutely. This car is a perfect car for the perfect situation. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All electric cars, in my opinion, in Ireland at the moment are a small bit on the expensive side. And that's just the way that the manufacturers unfortunately have it set up, or the government are subsidising it, or whatever it may be. We're all now part of a world where you can see what the price of an electric car is in Germany or France or across the water in the United Kingdom. And we start to ask ourselves, why is that car in that market such a different price? Who is benefiting? Is it the dealership or the franchise owner in Ireland? Is it the government that aren't subsidising it enough? These are all things that we as electric vehicle drivers and EV curious need to start asking ourselves. Let's look at some of the details. We have a lovely 7-inch display in front of the driver, and you're getting your power versus charge, swinging graph, as in whether you're putting charge into the car with regenerative braking. Speaking of which, you have 3 levels, and they are on the paddles on the steering wheel. Then on the right hand side, you have the battery level, as in what level you have left in the battery. You have automatic hold, as in like an auto handbrake. You have lane assist. We talked about the 4 driving modes. You can see what your consumption is in a kilowatt hour per 100 kilometer rating. You can see the range left. What I love is the fact that the fuel symbol is a traditional petrol or diesel or fuel pump, but it is a plug. They've taken the time to actually, instead of a nozzle, they actually have a little plug icon on it. So I like that. So lots of information in front of me, very good, very clean. The steering wheel has the 2 paddles, the regenerative paddles up and down in the just behind the steering wheel itself. And then on the steering wheel, you have voice assist, you have volume up and down, you have your phone controls, you have the different menus options on the actual center of the driving cluster. So you've got lane keep assist, you've got all the different driver assistance, you've got the cruise control mode, you've got the distance to the car in front. So lots of stuff happening on the steering wheel. I like it. It's a nice steering wheel, and it's some may think it's a bit busy. I think it's it's enough to keep you in control of all the bits that you want to be in control of in the car. In the center of the dash, you have the main infotainment system, and it's broken up on this version to 3 different panels. So you've got the inbuilt satellite navigation on the left hand side. In the middle, I've got the radio. On the right hand side, I've got battery vehicle information, percentage of battery, range, and nearby EV charging stations. And you can change that then over to finding out more about your EV information. It takes Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The interesting thing about Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is if you use an Apple, you get the full width use of the screen, so 10.25 inch. If it's Android Auto, just because of the way it's set up in the ratios, you get a much smaller part of the screen real estate, and you have an Android Auto logo there constantly kind of letting you know that you're on Android Auto. Not that you need it. Connectivity underneath it, you have 1 USB port and then 2 12-volt sockets. You can obviously buy the adapters if you want more USB sections down there. You have a large storage area underneath that. You have your drive selectors, which is your park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Behind it, you kind of have it looks like a kind of a mouse from one of the German manufacturers, as in one of those instruments to be able to use, move it forward, back, left, right. It literally is just for resting your wrist on it. You have some wireless charging if your phone can take that. 2 water bottle or cup holders. Then you have some more selection options behind the wrist rest. You have heated seats, 3 levels, and ventilated. You have your drive mode selector. You have the option to turn on your rear view camera when you are driving, which is a nice feature. And then you also have your parking assistant, your auto hold, which is your automatic handbrake, and then you've got your heated steering wheel and your electronic handbrake. Behind that you have an armrest, and inside that then you've got a decent amount of storage space with another 12-volt charging socket in there. Lots of storage space, really like that option on it. Glove box is a decent size. Seating position, the driver is electronically, the maneuverability of it, or the ability to change the position on it, is electronically controlled. You have your sunglass holder along the top. your emergency SOS button, your 2 reading lights, and your dome light controls as well. Both sun visors have the option, or sorry, have mirrors, and then they also have a little light above that you can switch on or switch off, so you don't have to have a light coming on even when you're using the mirrors. The infotainment system as well also has touch sensitive sections underneath it. You have an option for the map, which brings up the satellite navigation inbuilt 2/3 of the screen. Then you can have navigation as to inputting the place you want to go to. It has radio. It also has the different AM or digital audio or FM. So digital audio, FM or AM. Media, then you can have Bluetooth connected via your phone. You can do USB, you can put video into it. And I mentioned already, you've got the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. And then you have some settings options there as well. There are no knobs in here. I know some of you are looking for knobs on some of your cars, and so it is all kind of touch, well, it is all touch sensitive. So you've got your climate control section underneath the 2 vents. You have your all air conditioning options. You've got your air conditioning driver only option. You also have your heat settings, etc. Seats are good. You can maneuver them in the driver position anyway, a lot of different ways, up, down, left, right, all the rest of it. And the steering wheel has full ability to change position as well, rake and tilt. What's it like to drive the Hyundai IONIQ? I really like it. It is a slightly higher seated position because of the battery packs underneath, but it is, I think it's a nice driving position. You're slightly higher up in the road, but you feel you're higher up in the road because your seating position is slightly more elevated than a normal sedan or saloon. Some people are commenting about the rear view of in the rear view mirror, because there's a glass top to the hatchback and a glass panel underneath. You have a small little stripe with regards to where the spoiler is. I think it's a decent viewing position. Would it be better without the strip of the spoiler? Of course it would, but I think you're getting a lot of visibility in it. With the driver assists, I think they're just enough. It's not going to be self-driving, it's not going to be fully autonomous, but the lane assist, the cruise control, all that kind of stuff helps. And you can, when you're veering, if you're not paying attention, the steering wheel will drag you back in. It's not rocket science, it's not new to anything, but it is, it's a nice feature to have on this car. The automatic lights, automatic wipers, so there's a lot of stuff. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck. It is going up against the likes of, it is bigger than your Zoes, your E208s, your Corsa E. So what you're going to be going up against with this car, pretty much nose to nose, is going to be the Nissan LEAF. And the Nissan LEAF 40 kilowatt battery pack, the IONIQ is going to give you better range. Similar size internally, probably a bit smaller, actually is a bit smaller. The boot is a bit smaller as well. So, but that'd be the nearest comparison to it. It is a good size car. As I mentioned, I really like it. I think what they do with their battery technology is magical, probably the wrong word, but it definitely is. They have tweaked as much as they can out of this battery chemistry and design and aerodynamics, etc. So would I recommend this car? Absolutely. I recommend, if you're interested in buying an EV, you need to go and test drive the different variants that are available. This will suit some people, this won't suit other people. Some others are very opinionated with regards to whether it's a good car or not. I've driven it now. This is my second time driving it for over a number of days. And as in, it was a full week the first time, and it's nearly a full week the second time. So I haven't lived with it, but that's a long time to review a car. And I give it a thumbs up. I give it a, I'm happy with the level of and the quality of what you get for the money. The interior feel, yes, there are some nice touches, like over the steering wheel there is kind of like a leather insert with a bit of stitching around it. There are some fingerprint magnets. I'm not going to mention this in every review, but this may be the one review that you watch from me because you're interested in the Hyundai IONIQ, and it is a because it's a lot of touch panels and touch screens, you will have an element of that. But every car has an element of that nowadays. Are there some cheap plastics in here? Yes, cheap is probably the wrong word. There's a lot of lightweight plastics here, and that might be a hint to the type of buyer that will want this car. It is for its range, it is for its value of the equipment that you get. So yeah, I really like it. You see a lot of them around, and I can see why. For the family, for 2.4 kids, you've got ISOFIX 2 positions in the back. There's a lot to be said for it. You're going to get better range, and the price is not as expensive as a Nissan LEAF 40 kilowatt. And so build quality is probably better on the Nissan LEAF in my opinion, but there's nothing wrong with the build quality in this one. Absolutely not. Go and take it for a test drive if you're interested. Get to your nearest Hyundai dealer. Hopefully this review has piqued your interest. Hopefully we see more of them on the road. ChargeGate. Some of the EV community got very worked up about it when I was driving it the first time, and I went to one of the EV meetups for the Dublin Club. And they're like, oh, they've done terrible things with that car. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect. Like, people really need to think about what their commutes are, and do they need... Yes, it would be great to have it. The capability, it'd be great to have 150 kilowatt charging in every car. It's not going to happen. Manufacturers have to make those decisions. It's very similar to the suspension setup in this car. Not independent rear suspension, it's torsion. Some people got their knickers in a twist about that one. Like, lads, seriously. Go and test drive it. Hopefully you watch these reviews and go, I'm interested in that car. I'm going to go now and form my own opinion on it. There will be some people that will be for this car, there will be some people that will be against this car. What my job as a reviewer is to give you my opinion. Not to try and change your opinion, because everybody has their own opinion. And you'll follow this channel, and if you are following this channel, I really appreciate it. If you give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, because you value what I think about electric vehicles. And we're not going into super detail with regards to the efficiencies and the battery cells and all the rest of it. It is what I feel somebody that's interested in an electric vehicle or changing their electric vehicle to this or whatever car or vehicle I'm driving. That's why I feel that they've decided to watch this review or subscribe to my channel. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you have enjoyed it, if you can give it a like, leave a comment, tell me what you liked. And if you can subscribe to the channel, it lets me know, and it also lets YouTube know that there's an interest there. There is an interest with people interested in this channel, so the subscription really helps any YouTube channel that you follow, that you watch on a regular basis, because I can see the stats, and a lot of people watching, but not a lot of people subscribing. I don't put out reviews too often, so you won't be bombarded with that. You can hit the notification bell. You can watch it, you don't have to watch it, but the subscription lets me and lets YouTube know, you know what, they're interested in this content. And it lets me know, you know what, keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review.